Welcome back everyone to another episode of No Fear Cooking. My mother's not here today, it's me. I'm back. The last time you saw me, my hair was at my shoulders. I've since gotten a haircut. But today we're doing a recipe that we did 2 weeks ago, which are the Ted Lasso Biscuits, but with a twist. Because today we're adding chocolate chips to them. I don't know if you can see. For those of you who were asking who is Ted Lasso, that is Ted Lasso. It is a TV show on Apple TV+. Fantastic TV show. You've heard enough of me talking. Let's get into the steps for these Ted Lasso biscuits with chocolate chips. All right, let's get started with the first step in this recipe. Now this recipe is going to look very familiar to you because it's one that we've actually done before, but we're just adding a new ingredient that we didn't have before. So the first thing you want to do, get your food processor out, get a 1.5 cups of all-purpose white flour, dump it in the food processor. There's my first 1/2 cup. Put it to the side, get the rest of the 1.5 cups of flour and dump it in there. After that, you get a 1/2 cup of almond flour and you dump it in there, just like that. Now almond flour, it looks like it has stuff in it. That's just the flakes from the almond. I learned that the hard way. I thought we had defective almond flour. We did not. Then you add a 1/2 cup of sugar to that, just like that. One more thing you're gonna add is 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now, if you don't like salt that much, you can maybe use a little bit less of this. I use just a little bit less than a whole 1/2 teaspoon. You dump it in there, close that, put it on the side. And now you're just gonna pulse it until everything is combined. That's all you're gonna wanna do. You don't really wanna do it for too long, so just pulse it. Okay, everything looks combined, so move on to the next step. 2 sticks of butter. Make sure it's cold. We put it in the freezer for around 10 minutes before we put it in. This is salted butter. So that's what I was saying about the salt earlier. If you don't like salt, maybe don't use as much of this because it will be a little bit salty if you're not a big fan of it. I don't really tell the difference, so just go ahead, put all the butter in there. I have my wonderful sous chef Babbitt over there helping me out with this. Okay, the butter is in there. Put that to the side. Now, here's the special ingredient for this one. We're using 1/2 cup of chocolate chips. It makes it nice and tasty, we learned. Add it in there. And then the last thing, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. This is very important, do not forget this one. And you just add it in there. It's good to go. Now, we mix. When you're mixing this, you want it to resemble a coarse sand of sorts. So around 10 seconds is what I've discovered to work well for this one. You put your lid on it and you just continue pulsing it, right? Okay, I think it's good. Let's take a look at this. Is it coarse sand? I'd say it's about it. Maybe if you wanted to, you could do a little bit longer. Sometimes the butter and the chocolate chips stick together. I'm actually gonna go for maybe another few seconds here. Okay, now we're done. Now we're good. All right, so take an 8x8 pan, I think, butter underneath it. Put parchment paper down and butter the parchment paper. It makes the whole process much easier when you do that. Take your mixture that we just made, dump it in there. Whoop. Make sure the blade does not fall out, pro tip. You won't get that anywhere else but No Fear Cooking. Okay, that's good. Put that to the side. And now, spread it across evenly. Mine's not as sandy as I would like for it to be, as it usually is. It's a little bit more doughy feeling actually this time. I'm not quite sure why, because we used all the same ingredients, but you know, it'll still taste fine anyway. So once it's in there, you're gonna wanna pack it all down. You're gonna get nice and tight around the edges, on the top, everywhere. This will be a great addition to the Ted Lasso Biscuits. A lot of you were asking, who's Ted Lasso? That is the character from an Apple TV show. It's the name of the show. I recommend it. And I recommend you listen to my podcast, Binge Bros, where I review it every week. Little plug right there. It's nice and packed. Mom, get in here. Let's look at this. And now we're gonna put this in the oven for 30 minutes. We're gonna let it cool off after that for another 30 minutes. And then we will be back to show you the end results of the Ted Lasso Biscuits with chocolate chips. 30 minutes went by on the oven, remember at 350, in there for half an hour. We waited another 30 minutes, arguably the hardest part of this recipe, and now we must flip it. It is a little bit difficult to flip because you don't wanna like break it or anything, so you get something to put on top. You flip it, you take the pan off, and this is where you see why we butter everything. Look at how easily that came right out. And here's the big reveal for the bottom. And then one more flip so we can see the pretty side of it. It's a little, boop. And we have chocolate chip Ted Lasso biscuits. And what's great about this is we are filming this on a Friday. For those of you who watch Ted Lasso, you know Fridays are the release days. So I am going to cut one of these and I'm gonna eat it while we watch the show. We're about to go watch it. I suggest if you don't watch it, you should start watching because it's fun, and make these more importantly, because these are really, really, really good. I took them to a party 2 weeks ago. They were gone in maybe 20 minutes. I took two batches of them, were gone in 20 minutes. So these will be a hit wherever you go with them. I'm not gonna eat it on camera. No one wants to see me eat, but I will show you. Look at that. Oh man, look at that. Oh, I can feel the butter on it. It is soft, it is perfect. And with that, I'm gonna say goodbye to everyone. Enjoy. Babbitt, of course, has gotten up as I break open the food, but enjoy the rest of your day. Come back next week for another recipe on Saturday. In the meantime, make these, enjoy them. Let us know how you like it, and don't forget to subscribe. As always, I wouldn't be a YouTuber if I didn't tell you to subscribe. So enjoy the rest of your day, and goodbye.